My freaking. I'll get it after I go live. Three, two, one. We love chaos and being way fucking behind schedule. you know, it, at this point, it's kind of expected. Yeah, give me a sec. Start sharing chat. Yay! Meow. Okay, gotta do the advertising. Mine are about to start. Mine are about to start. yeah. They wait they wait about a minute and a half to start. It's or it takes like 1 to 2 minutes for them to actually kick in. It's so annoying. We're we're both ADHD, so so I think that'll be in our benefits. yeah, I think that'll benefit us. yeah, yeah. Do they have any friends that are not DID specifically? Do they have any friends that are systems that aren't specifically DID? Your friend. Do they have other system friends that aren't specifically DID? Out of curiosity. I see. I see. Mine just finished. like the differences and stuff like that. Yeah. Dissociation symptoms and stuff like that. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I deal with that quite a bit too. Just like not even considering the fact that I'm a system. I deal with that personally. It's so um I'm gonna add a little more complexity onto it too. You want to you you ready? So um uh not only are we an OSDD system, um I am trans, and like half of our system uses she her, half of them uses they, and like another half uses he. And then there's some of us that use it like we're a mix of everything, and it is not the most easy to like, let's just say therapy is not easy. When it comes to especially like gender identity and trying to describe my gender. Oh, lagging a little. There we go. It's fucking complicated. Even even not considering systems. Yeah. Um, God, I felt that entire all of that. All of that, but what the fuck am I at all? Oh, can't hear you, Wendy? Oh, no. I should be able to I at the very least, I captured it on my end. It was captured on my end at the very least. Uh, yep. Yeah, she's fixing it. Give her a sec. Give her a sec. Did OBS do
Thing.
stupid?
Very
Did
interesting.
OBS or
Yes,
whatever?
OBS deselected my microphone. Like it just
Bro,
said no device selected. Um I also had it muted on this scene for some reason, but like when I unmuted
bruh,
it, it still wasn't picking it up and I'm like, oh.
bruh,
um Okay,
bro.
now they can hear me, regardless of whose stream they're watching.
I see you.
We should be good now. I looked to make sure that the Discord call was being captured. I didn't look to make sure the mic was being captured. Um,
All right.
But hey,
Um.
hey, at
So
least we caught it
we
early.
were talking about we were talking about essentially trans imposter syndrome,
Yeah,
and so imagine those feelings. But for me as the host, I am. What am I at all? Because I don't. As you saw in my Discord, I prefer to go by they or it or creature. I am a thing. But what fucking thing am I? and and then the fact that there's some of us that go by she, some of us that go by they, some of us that go by he, and then there's a couple of us that go by it, not just me. Like we have the entire gender range in our fucking system, and it's complicated. Like when it comes to what we want the body to be, our system is at a general consensus of make it the fucking androgynous. You're the host. You get to choose that. Make it androgynous. But
yeah.
when it comes to actually trying to achieve that, it's oh so more complicated because of being a system and trying to get through that with like getting diagnoses you need and all of that. It's so much more complicated just because there are different gender people in my head.
Um, so how how like um I'm trying to figure out I
How to
because I
phrase it.
yeah, how to phrase because I don't want to
You
uh
I'm gonna say this now at beginning of stream. You cannot ask a stupid question. You cannot ask a rude question. I will correct you if you say something wrong, or if chat says something wrong, or if anyone says something insensitive. But you cannot say something stupid or something that will make me upset. I will just correct you.
okay. I guess my question is like okay. Um as far as like the OSDD goes, like how like do you I'm assuming you have a formal diagnosis
um,
of some sort.
not no. My therapist knows and he acknowledges it, but I do
Okay.
not have a formal diagnosis. Um, Part of that is because you most people with DID or OSD, like most people that are systems, don't go for diagnoses in general. Um, a lot of people that are a system are very hesitant to get that diagnosis officially, even if it's recognized by the therapist and all like that, and then it's very obvious that they have it like legitimately. And the reason why is it can cause problems with things like jobs, things like everything. Everything can get more complicated if you're not careful. Um, it's you know how people with diagnosed borderline personality disorder can struggle with stuff like that after they're diagnosed? That it systems are on the same caliber. They're equally not wanted in the working class.
Yeah, or like
So
how people with autism sometimes deal with that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's another good example. It's stigmatized all the hell and back, and it's not always what you want to be diagnosed. But yes, my therapist knows and acknowledges that we are indeed like an actual system.
yeah, I that's fair. Um, I I think for me, I've always been like I'm like, well, I need to get a diagnosis because otherwise, how can I prove to myself that it's real?
I I that's what I've been fighting with myself over uh
um,
for it um when it comes to
like,
it's something that I want to figure out is if I have like a personality disorder other than system like BPD because I feel like I
uh,
do. Um
like,
because I have a need to fucking know and
yeah,
understand myself.
yeah, that's a big part of it with me. I like with my autism diagnosis, I really didn't need to go get a diagnosis. Like I started doing research into ADHD because I knew I had that.
I
And then
I'm
all
currently trying
this
to figure out how to get myself properly diagnosed with autism outside of a therapy. If therapy says, "Yeah, you have autism," therapist
um
says, "Yeah, you definitely have it."
um and what happened for me was I was like I started researching ADHD. And then like all these autism videos kept coming up too, and I was like, I really relate to these. And so then I brought it up to
Same.
my therapist, and I was like, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I've thought that about you a few times, but I don't feel confident diagnosing adults." And I was like thinking in my head, the fuck? When were you gonna tell me? um,
There's
so
a
then
good reason.
I was like, well,
Uh, when it comes, I'll come
Um,
back to the not not feeling confident part when you're done.
who, uh, can you help me find someone that could diagnose me? And so then I had them and my PCP and myself calling around to like every psychiatrist office in like an hour's like drive of where I live.
Damn,
Um,
oh, an hour. You
to
went pretty far out then.
well, we didn't end up having to go that far, but that's like how like the like
Mm,
kind of radius we were to like try and find someone that would diagnose adults. And
yeah.
eventually I did find someone and got an assessment done. Um, and now I have a letter that says I am officially autistic.
Yeah. Mm. The reason why a lot of therapists and a lot of psychiatrists are hesitant to diagnose people, adults with autism, is because once you're an adult, you have a lot of coping mechanisms that mask the requirements in the DMC-5. The social awkwardness, that the things that you have to show to be diagnosed with it. A lot of adults with autism have already masked that or learned how to move navigate around that issue. They've taught themselves how to have that skill. And because of that, it makes diagnosing adults a lot harder. So that's why a lot of why you find it harder to get a diagnosis as an adult with ADHD and autism.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, ADHD was really easy for me. I was in college. I was honestly, I didn't actually think I had it. Um, I just had a friend who was like, "Oh yeah, it's super easy to get Adderall. All you got to do is go to the free um therapy place on campus and say you think you might have ADHD, and then they'll give you this uh assessment thing and just fill it out like with all the answers that you like makes it seem like you would would think an ADHD person would answer, and then they'll like send you to the on-campus clinic to get a prescription.
Wow.
And I was like, "Oh, that sounds
He
easy." And then I went and I was doing the assessment and I'm like, "Huh. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do have trouble with that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I do find it difficult to study.
So
Um,
so
uh,
what you're so what you're telling me is you were trying to get Adderall for whatever reason, and you ended up finding out that you actually need
I
it.
was trying to get Adderall to help me be able to study, which should have been
I wonder.
my
Yeah, I
first
was gonna say.
indicator that maybe I have ADHD.
Oh my god. So I've actually been diagnosed with ADHD literally my entire life. My mom is a
I
nurse, and she put me in school, and I was immediately like, "Yeah, no, my kid has ADHD." And my mom, and my teacher fought my doctor to get my fucking ass on medication because the doctor was like, "Oh, she's too young. She's a girl. She's too young. We can't diagnose her yet. We can't medicate her yet." Meanwhile, me in the class, needing those little foot bouncy cords to be able to focus and those clicky things, and my brain is everywhere, and I'm super hyperactive and impulsive, and it's like the most obvious case of ADHD combined type ever. And dude, my mom had to try with my teacher 3 different times before I got it. Yeah, and so I've been diagnosed ADHD my entire life.
Yeah, I wasn't diagnosed as a kid because I was smart, so I didn't have to try in school.
You
I
dealt with the
just
genius
kind
syndrome,
I just kind of
essentially.
uh I got my work done really quick, so then I wasn't like sitting there like bored. I was like
Yeah.
doodling in my notebook or whatever.
I
And
was
then like
literally I was the exact same way in high school and in middle school. I just did my own shit, got it done fast, and then when I was done, I did my own thing.
and then like I didn't have the external hyperactivity. It was all internal, like it was all in my head. Um which people didn't really get at the time. They were like, "Well, if you have ADHD, you're going to be like trying to climb the walls." And it's like, "No, that's not how that works." Uh Sometimes
ADHD.
it's just racing thoughts and like a
Yeah.
hyperactive mind. And that's how my mind was. But like they were just like, no, you just have anxiety, little second grader. You just have anxiety and depression. And
What?
so
What?
here are antidepressants.
Oh no, Oh no, they did not
Yep.
give an ADHD autistic kid fucking antidepressants.
Yep. And I'm
Let me
still
let me
not
let
sure
me
if
guess.
that I have anxiety and depression. I still don't know that that's my problem. I still think I might have a different mood disorder, but I don't like I've talked to my therapist. I'm like I don't really know how we assess that at this point because we've at
Yeah,
this point gone with the assumption that I have depression and anxiety for so many years, but like I don't think it accounts for like my rapid mood swings and my like
dude. s- Oh my god. I deal with that too. Are your emotions when you get hit with your emotions and mood swings, are they like 0 or 100? Like there's no in between a lot of times?
yes,
Same.
exactly. I have a really hard time regulating my emotions. I'm like I'm
Same.
either like numb and don't and like not necessarily unfeeling but like just don't like just
Apathetic.
like kind of, yeah, apathetic or like just like yeah, I exist.
You feel
Um
so much emotions that your brain just shuts down and stops feeling the emotions at all.
yeah, or and then or
That's
I'll
that's what
feel
that's what I
so
deal with.
overwhelmed with emotions, regardless of what emotion it is. That can be joy, it can be sadness, it can be anger, whatever it is, that I'm just like I can't contain it, and um I can be a little much for people sometimes. Um
Same. Oh my god. That
Especially when people are
well,
first getting to know me, like I can very easily find someone that I'm like, "Oh, I think you're cool." And then it's like, "I want to talk to you every minute of every day cuz I think you're cool and I just want to know everything about you."
you know what's funny? I accidentally did that to to a coworker that I met that I kind of clicked with. He was cool and I liked him, and I just talked his fucking ear off all for the entire shift. And bro was like, "Man, my brother does this a little bit, but you are intense." And I'm like, "Oops."
Yeah, I've had people tell me I'm intense before. Um
Yeah,
Nix has told me I can be intense, and she's like, and I love that about you, and you're my friend. But like, some people find it off-putting, and not
yeah.
everyone's gonna like it, unfortunately. And I'm like, yeah,
The the the
I
the worst
know.
part about dealing with that too is the fact is if you have issues with people just abandoning you or anything like that, if you have any issues like that, it makes it so much worse dealing with that.
Exactly. And I have those issues for sure. I have dealt with
Same.
that. I
Hold
have
on.
dealt with
My
that before. Um,
I have
where
lots of problems that feed
I've
into
just
my
had,
being a system, which uh speaking of,
yeah,
we
we've
kind of
gotten a
got a
little
little
off
derailed.
topic, but I
I
mean,
mean, I
we
mean
are
it's
both ADHD. We did know this was gonna happen. Uh,
yes, yes. And
but
honestly,
yeah,
part of
um,
the fun of a Q&A is just to like that's not scripted is to just talk about things that you want to know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I've
But
definitely had like abandonment issues with friends and stuff in the past, and it's just like, oof.
yeah,
So I have that
it's
that rejection sensitivity where it's like, oh no,
yep, yep.
I take
It's oh god, I'm being
people
too
giving
intense
me,
for this person. Are they going to leave now?
yeah, that, or like just like I genuinely want to take feedback and um like improve and stuff, but like at times I can be very sensitive with feedback and take it too personally, where it'll be like,
Yep, yep.
where it's like just get upset when somebody gives me feedback, and I'll take it like they are
Insulting you
um not
or
necessarily
attacking
insulting
you
me,
or
but it's
something like
like
that.
they're judging my character, where it's like that's not really what they're doing.
Yeah. Um, I know
Um
that feeling all too well.
but yeah. Uh anyway, let's get back to the main topic.
The
Um
main topic.
so how
So, what is a
exactly,
system really?
yeah, what how does um well, yeah, if you want to start there, what is a system?
Yeah. So, essentially, to fall under the umbrella of being a system or being plural, plurality. All of those are blanket terms for a variety of different system types. Um, DID and OSDD are not the only types. There are there are even more past that, but they would all fall under the system or plurality umbrella. To fall under that, you need to have different parts of yourselves that are in some way like different people or represent different parts of you and come out like for example, let's say you have this emotion. There you can have alters that represent emotion. Say this you have all of your emotions and you can only feel it if that one version of yourself is out um and in control of the body. That would be considered a system type. Or there are many people in your head who you can talk to. That's a system type. Or suddenly everything goes black and then 30 minutes later you're driving to the store and you don't know how you got into the car. You're probably a system. All of those are different experiences of being plural. So what I am is OSDD1B. That means I am a collective of alters or personalities that m- um, mostly shares memory or fully shares memory. There are some of my alters that do not share memories with me and the rest of this in my core system. Um, and but most of the system that actually fronts uh, does share memory. So we would be 1B means memory sharing. What a lot of people know as a system ubiquitously is dissociative identity disorder. That is not the same as what I have. You have to meet a lot of very specific qualifications to be a DID. Your trauma to trigger it has had to have happened. It had to be in your first 5 years for one. The trauma that triggers the system has to be within your first 5 years. Has to be significant childhood trauma, and usually this DID people with DID do not share memory. They have to find other ways to share things between each other, and it's like you're a bunch of strangers. You don't know each other. It's hard to talk to each other. You kind of just randomly switch around. It's disorienting. It's dissociative. Uh, that's most for the most part what it's like to be DID. Now, you can be DID and have some memory sharing capability, and you can um work on making it so that you can share like memories and talk to each other. Like that is something you can do in therapy, but generally not so. And then there's a couple other ones, but those are like emotional parts. A lot of people with borderline personality have EP, which is a technical system type, but it's not doesn't fall under typical systems.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, I that
Ask away. I know that's a lot of information. Feel free to ask away on specifics on all the information that I just gave. Blech, my
um
mouth is not working.
I mean, no, oh, that makes sense. I I'm trying to, because it's like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's obviously something that's hard to relate to if it's not something that you have ever
Yeah.
experienced. Um And
Um,
so it's like I'm like,
do you like making characters?
uh
Have you ever had like a collection of OCs?
I mean, um kind of like D&D characters, yeah.
Yeah. So
Um
imagine if um, uh, my best way I can put it into frame of someone who's a singlet. Imagine that though all of your D&D characters are in your head and can talk to you and are separate from you controlling them. Suddenly they have their own actual personality and they took on a life of their own. That's that's basically what it's like to be a system. At least in
yeah,
my experience. For me, that's
well
what it's like.
cuz okay, cuz like here I I don't know, cuz like I don't know how most people experience like their thoughts or their like um
I
their like mind. I know what I experience, right? And
what do you experience?
I so I typically most of my thoughts are like auditory, but like not auditory hallucinations, but like I hear them in
You
my head.
hear them,
But
you
it's
hear
not
them in your
like
voice or stuff like that.
always just a monologue. Sometimes I do talk to a separate inner voice that
You talk to yourself
but it's
a
yeah,
lot.
I talk to myself, but it's like it's not like a fully formed personality. It's like
Yeah.
uh
That's pretty normal for people
a
with a
kind of
ADHD, from
a
what I
kind
understand.
of
You're uh
sliver of a
yeah.
person.
And
That like
that
and
is
it
actually
does
normal.
refer
That's
to
normal.
it does refer to my like to me as we and us, but like it's not like a different person or a different like identity. Um
So
so
here's a
that's
fun
like the
piece of
closest
information.
thing that I can relate to it like but I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
I get
still
what you mean.
very very different to what you experience.
So as a fun nugget of information, uh, that is normal. Um, a if I'm sure you are aware, but a disorder is to be a disorder. It needs to be something that can happen normally, but it happens to an extreme extent that makes life a lot harder. So it's actually normal to have different parts of yourself talking to yourself as inner conflicts and stuff like that. That is normal. What is not normal is them becoming full-fledged inner like personalities that stick around constantly and you fracture off more of them for each trauma that happens.
Yeah.
uh that
Yeah.
is when it's the disorder. So um for some people, uh DID or OSDD or being a system is actually quite like what you described, but a little more permanent. For
I
for me,
mean,
I
yeah.
have hyperphantasia. I can visualize everything in my head. Like we all are affected by it. In my head, like we can visualize it pretty accurately and to a lot of detail. And because of that, instead of just being voices, we just hover around a computer. If there's multiple of us fronting, we just hover around a computer in the room that we call the main room, and the computer is us interacting with a body, and all of us are just there sitting at different uh chairs or like standing over each other as if like you had a bunch of like a group of friends over and you were all trying to play a game together and you didn't have enough chairs. You're just hovering over each other. It's kind of like that, but in my head.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I yeah, I I would say that the sliver of my mind that I talk to is uh pretty much around all the time. Um
Mhm.
but like I don't know. I don't really consider it to be like any sort of separate. I don't really know what I
Well,
consider it to be. I just consider it to be
it's
there. It's not
yeah.
I don't know.
Not all, not all. Uh,
I don't
having
necessarily
having a
consider it to be
sliver of
myself.
yourself
I
to
mean I
talk
do,
to
but I
the
don't.
having that doesn't necessarily make you a system.
I mean
However,
I'm not
it
trying to say that it does.
it
I'm
oh, no. What I was gonna say is it can make you a system, but it completely depends on your experiences and how it is for you. Um,
I
I know, I've known a couple systems that were only like two or three. And the reason someone like that who has an inner voice that's there becomes a system is usually a something seriously traumatizing happens, and uh the idea of being a system had been planting in their mind, and their mind just goes, you know what, fuck it, we're being a system now, make another one. That's how it happens. That's what happens a lot of
I
times.
don't I don't know. I feel like I don't know when the sliver of myself appeared. I just know it. I think it
It
appeared
exists.
because I was very uh um like very
Words.
alone for a very long time in life. And so it kind of just was there for me. Um,
Yeah. I
I don't know
think
much else about it besides that. I do know I can't picture things in my head. I have aphantasia.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
that's why everything is auditory for me pretty much. I mean, like I can picture like snapshots of memories or like um sometimes I'll think in like typography. Uh, but pretty much it's mostly just constant uh dialogue.
Yeah. It's all I really can say is it's complicated, and every
Yeah,
person is
I
different,
don't
singular
think
or plural.
I don't think
Every person is
really
different, so
we know how our brains work that well at all. I
Mm,
think a lot of it's
not even
just
close.
guesses. Um, I
We
mean,
know like jack shit about the brain. I'm gonna be honest.
it wasn't that long ago when, uh, you know, the prevailing psychology theories were all that like everything was sexually driven and like sexually
And
motivated.
then not even that
And
far
then,
back, not even that much further back, lobotomies were the solution to things like autism and schizophrenia.
yeah, which I mean,
It's still like,
sometimes didn't turn out
I
awful, but
sometimes
like
it didn't
weren't
turn out the
good.
worst, but like the thing is, there's a really interesting theory that I came across that I feel like works for at the very least describing what DID might be from stemmed from. So you know how with ADHD your brain is just fundamentally built different. Your left and right hemispheres are not properly connected, and the theory, the scientific why the brain does the alters thing is that there's a lot of different systems in your brain and there's a lot of different parts, and that maybe some people become systems because their parts can't communicate to each other. They become their own persons in their head. They're trying to function properly, and the only way they can is by being different people and talking to each other verbally in the head because they can't communicate any other way, which is a really interesting theory.
It is an interesting theory. I just can't function properly. uh,
I feel that.
I no, I don't know. It's like it's one of those things where it's like I do like I have heard like the prevailing theory of at least like when it comes to DID. Anyway, and I'm assuming it's like a similar idea with other system types, but especially DID where it's like you know, you had some sort of trauma at an early age that causes your personality to not fully like uh
Yeah.
solidify. Um
So, yeah, basically, you have to have had some kind of trauma, whether it was something that could be considered CPTSD or normal PTSD or like severe traumatic um event, um something that just causes your brain to be so stressed with either not being able to build itself properly or the memory of the trauma weighs you down so much that you need to segregate it. And that's how the first split usually happens is segregation of the memory. A trauma holder. And a person in your brain that holds the memories of the things that are too harmful for you to recall so that you can function. um and you can actually uh you can't develop DID later on in life, but you can develop OSDD later on in life if the trauma is bad enough or if the trauma is consistent enough. Uh, for example, uh, years and years of being bullied constantly that can cause being a system. It's what we think caused our system. We don't know because the person the personality that was originally piloting our mech suit, as we say sometimes, the original, um, she is all but dormant. She gave up the body to the current me, current people, me specifically, uh, and she refuses to give us most of the memories of childhood to middle school. Uh, so we think we know we were incessantly bullied and were excruciatingly alone a lot of the time, and we know that our our main system, Little Periwinkle, we're pretty sure that he was the first alter to come to existence. Probably originally as an imaginary friend for Shauna, the original, so that she wasn't so alone, and um, developed into a system and an actual alter through that. Uh, so like it can be a compounding thing, or it can be just one major event. But once it happens the first time, uh, other traumas and stressors are way more likely to trigger it again, which is why it's so hard to not be to become not a system once you've become one, and why most of the times the goal of a system is not to merge together to become a singlet again, but instead to coexist and function uh, as if we were a singlet. Uh,
I
if
I
that makes sense.
wonder, and this is more of a hypothetical question because I'm sure you don't know. Like, this is not something that I'd expect you to have an answer to because I don't think science really has an answer to it. Um, but like, why some people that experience trauma, especially trauma like at like very early in life, like in early childhood or um, stuff like that. Um, why some people like
Don't and end up
become
fracturing,
systems
like,
and like yeah, some people
yeah.
fracture and become systems and other people don't because like I
I
definitely have
personally,
a lot of trauma and I don't I just was like, my body was just like, we're gonna tank that. My brain was just like, we're just gonna tank that shit. Uh, now, I mean, I do have a lot of
so
parts of my childhood that I don't remember very well. That are like, it's like kind of like partial
I
amnesia,
think
but like,
this is just me spitballing like around this. Like my answer to this is gonna be like theoretical is based on what I have learned and what I have researched. But what I think it is everyone is neurologically made neurologically different. I think some people are straight up built different. I think some people just are able to handle the mental stress better, like because of their neurological fucking makeup. And some people just their brain just ceases to know how to function because it's less stable. And I think like people that are less like neurologically stable are also way more likely to be have disorders of any type. That's my running theory, at least, because it's kind of similar for like other disorders in general. Like the theory on why some people get it, some people don't, even if they experience the same thing, is just neurological differences. And I think that applies for uh systems too.
yeah, I think that, um, that does kind of make sense. I am like, uh, I I feel like I don't know. I've always like had the thought of like, especially now, like as an adult, where I've just like consistently struggled to just function as a human being, where it's just like where I'm just like I never asked to deal with what I had to deal with in life, and I never asked to uh have all
Uh,
the problems that I have mentally, and um but
yeah.
but the world just wants me to keep going, and my brain and my mind just keep going like, I don't know if we can keep doing this. I don't know. I don't know if we can
Yeah,
keep going like this because I really don't like it.
I this is gonna be an interesting take, but I think some people that are singlets would actually benefit from fracturing.
I
The reason the reason why is because
okay.
as someone that's a system, I don't think fracturing a lot is ever good. Uh but as someone who has a system, it's uh if I were to go into a depressive spiral, my system can just go, nope, you're not allowed in front anymore. Go sit in the corner and calm the fuck down, and they can take over, and I'm not going to do anything stupid, and I can also mentally recuperate. It's like having your own network of people inside you to keep you uh functioning, and I feel like some people who just struggle to do that on their own would benefit from uh having that other person able to go, yeah, no, you need to take a break. I'm going to control now. You go to sleep and relax.
Yeah. I which we probably should have prefaced this whole conversation with saying neither of us are medical professionals.
Yeah, no.
do not
Yeah, no,
take
neither of us are
do
medical.
not take
I'm
mental health advice from us. We're just talking about our personal experiences. Um,
yeah, I plan on going to school for that, but I am not currently one, so and even if I
but
was, I am not your we are not your
yeah,
medical
even if we
professionals
were
regardless.
medical professionals, we are not acting. We would not be
Your
acting as medical professionals in this instance.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I will say so I don't remember how many years it was ago now, but it was like um probably like around 2021, 21, 22, somewhere in there, right?
Peak of
Where
COVID.
yeah, like when the world just went fucking bananas uh initially, and I was working in pharmacy at the time, and so that was crazy in and of itself.
Oh boy. That sounds
And
chaotic.
I would just like had a total mental breakdown. Um, and really, I have not recovered from that mental breakdown yet. I've like I've had ups and I have had downs, but have not like been able to get back to like a place where I was before then. Um, but I hit a point where I was like going through a lot of um depersonalization, derealization, a lot of dissociative symptoms, right? And
Decompensating.
I was like, especially like when I would be at work and stuff, I would uh just dissociate, and like I would just go on autopilot, and I it would be like I was watching myself in third person, and
Yep, I know that feeling.
it's just like I could step in and take control again if I needed to, but like overall, it was kind of nice to like not directly be like controlling things. And I was
Yeah.
kind of like, and but I ended up in a like a partial inpatient mental health program, and during one of the group therapy sessions, I brought that up. I was like, I kind of um miss like dissociating to an extent. Like I kind of miss be like having those times when I would like
Be able to
be
rest.
be able to rest and be like have myself taken out of the stress and the trauma and
Yeah.
everything. And the therapist, which I did not like the therapist at this place, and it's why I won't do partial inpatient again because I don't have another
Huh.
option of where to go near me. Um, but they said the one guy was like, "Oh, so you'd rather be going through a psychotic episode than," uh, and I'm like,
That's
I was
not.
like, I didn't know how to react to that, so I just cried instead. But
I, I, I don't think that
I
would be
felt like it
considered a
was
psychotic episode. I'm pretty
like
sure
it
that's been
felt
called a dissociative episode.
like I don't know, like it did not feel like a proper response. But it was also like I around then I had also mentioned was also around when I was starting
Okay.
to like wonder if I was maybe autistic. And I mentioned to them that I was thinking about maybe, bringing that up to my therapist and then seeing about getting a diagnosis. And they were like, "Oh, I wouldn't do that because I think you'll just use it as an excuse to not do anything." And I'm like,
What
"Abba, abba,
the fuck?
excuse you?" So then after that day, I didn't go back, and whoop,
Oh,
uh-oh,
uh-oh. Oh,
uh-oh.
my BTS crashed. Oh
Okay,
no. Hold on. Hold
okay.
on.
I'm like, uh-oh, you disappeared.
Yeah, my VTube studio just crashed on me.
It's all good. It's all
Hold
good.
on. It's rebooting. Um, I. What the fuck is all I really have to say to that? Like, what? I I don't understand therapists like that. I'm gonna be honest. I know I know everybody's like, they all say, so how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel would be a great response there, I feel like.
How
So
does
much
that
better than
make
the one you
you
got.
feel? Exactly.
Like,
Like
that actually
anything
would have
else, really. Um,
that would have
like,
got
yeah,
probably gotten
but
you thinking.
like
Like,
it's
but
one of those
what?
things where it's like I don't like at one in one way I'm like like I do agree with a lot of things that therapists say and stuff like that, right? And I'm not saying that therapy is bad. I genuinely think most people probably should go to therapy. I go to therapy myself. I highly
Yeah,
recommend it. But I do think sometimes
very good thing.
um
Oh,
like they
I'm getting
don't
a little lag.
Uh-oh.
because everything's uploading. Hold on. Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. Thing
Uh,
stable. Thing stable.
um, there you are. Now you're back.
There we go. Okay.
Um, but I do think sometimes, like, things can be, like, I don't
There
know,
can be
just,
bad
just,
therapists,
there can be
and
bad therapists, but
therapy
there can
can still
also
be
just be,
useful.
like, just like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to be like,
Uh,
sometimes, like,
Something that a
it's
lot of
like,
people have recommended is, like, when it comes to therapy, is try going to, like, 3 sessions, at least 3 sessions, with at least 3 different therapists, unless you find the one that you click with immediately, before quitting, because not every therapist will vibe with you,
yeah, yeah, and
and
you
that's just a
definitely
fact
need
of
to
life.
find a therapist that's gonna vibe with you. Um, I mean, it is an
And a therapist that will
unfortunate
actually help you, because
reality
there's a lot of different types and stuff
of
like that.
our mental health system that, especially in like rural areas and stuff, there, that's not always an option for people. Um,
Yeah.
you just don't necessarily have an abundance of choice. Um, but
Unfortunately, yeah.
um, I think like to some extent though, it like there is like even the unhealthy things that our brains do to cope can sometimes be okay as long as it's nothing like too extreme. As long
Yeah.
as it's nothing like, as long as you're not like,
Uh
you know,
so
going to the very extremes where you're like harming yourself or, um,
yeah, I
things like
have
that.
I have a very deep take on this, actually, because I've learned a lot about this. So there are two types of methods that people use to deal with stress and trauma: coping and compensation. A coping mechanism is something that you do to relieve the stress and is helpful to you. It helps you get through it and doesn't cause you harm. A compensation strategy is something that you do to avoid the stress that you're currently doing, but inevitably causes stress to you in a different way. Decompensation is when your compensating behaviors just all fall apart. So, yes, if the thing that you're doing to deal with stress isn't causing stress in a different area, then yeah, it's a coping mechanism, and it's not then it's a good tool to have. If it's something that's causing stress on you in a different way, then it's a compensation behavior, and you might want to consider a different way to deal with the stress than you are, that doesn't cause more stress, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes
And
sense.
I would say dissociation can be both. A dissociation can be a coping mechanism, and it can be a compensation mechanism. It kind of depends on how you end up dissociating, whether or not, and in the situations, and if you can function, and if it actually just relieves the stress or causes different stressors. Uh, but I think dissociation can be useful in certain situations and can be helpful personally.
Yeah, I think like um I think for me it was more of like my mind, like I it would happen when I needed to, like when things got so um like stressful in my body that like I couldn't uh take it any longer, and I needed to like disconnect and like not um really be connected to myself for a little while. Uh
Yeah,
and I can't really, like it doesn't really happen anymore, and I feel like it's just been replaced by the stress builds up, and I have to either remove myself from the situation, or if it's a situation that I can't remove myself from, I end up
mentally
not
removing
being
yourself
being
instead.
able to um it depends, cuz like if it's public, I like will um I'll just get like very fidgety and stuff like that until I can get out of the situation. Um and then I'll be like very up like upset. Um but if it's like with my family, especially because I don't have a great relationship with them, um
Ah, yeah,
because of various reasons, especially with my dad. There's a lot of trauma there. I don't like it. It just like the stress builds up, and then I just like uh have like an emotional outburst, and then I end up like
yeah,
mentally beating myself up because I am like, oh, it was bad of me to be that way, or to like let myself get to that point, or and I'm like, I don't,
yeah,
like it's hard, and I can't, like I do my best, I really
yeah.
do.
Hey, so apparently, I learned recently that's a symptom of being autistic and sometimes a symptom of being ADHD.
I mean, yeah, it very much is. I th-
It's
I
I find
think
myself
there
beating
are,
myself up less, acknowledging when I acknowledge the fact that it's hard to deal with that and it happens sometimes.
yeah, I think I struggle with it because um I I have like even though I've never been like a physically violent person, I have this like irrational like fear in my head that I will just like snapping like really like physically unload on someone someday. And so anytime I show even the slightest bit of like anger or frustration with someone, I like really hate on myself because I feel like, oh, um being angry makes you a bad person. Um which is not accurate. Everyone gets angry, everyone
Yeah,
has times when they're angry, but for some reason for me, and I think this is also trauma related because I witnessed my uh grandfather be violent with my grandmother when I was really young,
I was
and
I was gonna
um
say if you've seen that happen, it's probably a bigger
different
fear of yours
things
because of it.
like that, um where I have um just developed this idea in my head where it's like, oh, anger is an entirely bad emotion and serves no good function. And if you are angry, that inherently makes you a bad person. Um, and uh, so I deal with a lot of like self hatred over that. um,
I
but
I deal with some self hatred over anger, but I deal with more self hatred over my depressive spirals, which causes bigger depressive spirals, and over certain other emotions that are negative that aren't specifically anger. Uh, but being overly self critical, that will that will trigger an endless loop because I'm self-critical about being self-critical, and now I'm upset that I'm criticizing myself for being self-critical. It's not great, and it's a loop that really fucking sucks to be trapped in, regardless of what thing um has you trapped like that.
yeah, yeah, it does. And I don't know. It's one of those things. I have like very low self-esteem. I want to improve it, but it's like,
Where do you start?
how? How do you even do that?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I'm in the same boat right now. I'm trying to figure out where to start for it.
and uh, so far I'm I've mostly been stuck on the um my therapist said, "Hey, let's, you know, I would love to tell you, let's try and love ourselves." But like I know that immediately that's not gonna be possible for you. Um so how about let's just try to be less critical of ourselves. And that's the step I've kind of been stuck on. Um,
So I'm I'm actually basically on the same step right now. But for me, slightly different. The self-critical part of myself is kind of like it's kind of like a partial fracture of myself, but it isn't. Um, as in like it can kind of be considered an alter and kind of can't. It's weird. It's complex. And what my therapist is currently having me do is whenever I feel that happening or hear that the voice of criticizing myself, um, to instead of trying to push it away, to just be in its presence and acknowledge its existence, listen to it, but um don't acknowledge that it's right per se, but don't don't shove it away because that makes it harder to get through it.
That
So that's what I'm
sounds
currently doing.
like ACT therapy, which is what I'm doing.
Ah, yeah.
Acceptance and commitment therapy, which is,
ACT is very important for systems. So
and it's also,
ACT and family systems therapy. Yeah,
and ACT is also highly effective for autistic individuals, whereas CBT tends to not be as effective
cognitive behavioral. Yeah.
because we will reason our way out of everything the therapist tries to tell us.
Yep. Which is why, which is why I'm really glad that he's. It, I did voice that. Um, I the kind of therapies that I think would help me is like um not trying to gain self-awareness because I have a lot of self-awareness. You know, you know how there are some therapists will be like, "So, I want you to describe your problem. I want you to tell me how it makes you feel, the good things about it, the bad things about it, and I want you to go in as much detail about it as you can while I don't do very much input." That doesn't work for me. My last therapist mostly practiced in that style, and it doesn't work for me because I'm already excruciatingly aware of a lot of my problems, right? What I need
Exactly.
instead is to I need something like narrative the narrative style narrative changing how narrative framing therapy or ACT style therapies where you're like trying to act upon it and work with it in a way to change the perception of it. Um, and that is the direction he's taking it, and I'm very glad.
Yeah, I specifically, so like I had a therapist I really liked, and then needed like more frequent visits, and they weren't going to be able to accommodate that because basically they were on their way out of the practice. Anyway, so then
That
I
always
had
really
to
sucks.
switch to a new therapist, and the one I switched to, I just did not click with. And so then I was like, well, I've done CBT therapy since I was like in second grade. Not like the whole time, but like for a large portion of it, my life since then. Like there have been some years where like I wasn't in therapy, but for the most part. Um, and so I was like, well, I have read that ACT therapy works better for autistic people. Is there anyone here that does that? That I could
Yeah.
try seeing them? And they were like, my therapist that I wasn't really clicking with was like, oh, let me talk to my supervisor and I'll find out and stuff. And so I ended up getting switched to my therapist I have now. who I really like. There are times when I feel like um, things
Or
aren't really
stagnating?
yeah, are stagnating, but like I feel like that's just part of therapy in general. Um,
Yeah. I
but
yeah, I
like,
had a problem with that as well, but
but I
um
definitely think it's been more helpful where it's just like, oh yeah, you just have to kind of like the idea of just being like, oh, accepting that these are the feelings that you're having, and that or that this is the your situation, and you don't have to like that that's your situation or that those are the feelings. Um, and you
it
just have
it
to
sounds
accept
good on
that
paper.
though they exist and that's what it is in the now. Um, and if it's not helpful to you, let it go. But like, you also like you don't like it if it's something that you can't let go of right away, you don't have to let it acknowledge that you can't let it go right at the moment.
Yeah.
And like that like thing of being like, hey, just acknowledge where you're at. Because I think that's a thing that just autistic people in general struggle with is like existing in the present. I feel like
Yeah.
we get very caught up in either um, thinking about the past, whether it be like past like bad memories or past mistakes, or um, even reminiscing on like good memories of the past, and or we get caught up in trying to plan for every single possibilities for the future that we like don't really exist in the present. Um,
Yeah.
and that's been like a big thing I've just been trying to do more is just like exist in the here and now
Enjoy what you have
and
and acknowledge
uh
everything around you. Yeah. That
don't like don't
yeah.
really worry about the fact that I don't have a like master plan for for the next like 5 years or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
um,
I I definitely need to do more of that when because like
it's just, I mean, it's not easy to do, especially when
no, it's not.
that's like goes against how your mind like naturally wants to work. But
It's a little interesting. For me, it's like either I it's less that I'm like thinking about the future or the past and more that I'm just struggling to exist a lot of times. I'm kind of just sitting there, lack of motivation, just doing things to do things and not really thinking about what I'm doing. And it's probably not helping my depression. That or I'm just not here at as in front. So, yeah, no.
yeah, I kind of get not so much that last little bit, but the just kind of like sitting around, not like struggling with motivate. Like I definitely struggle with motivation. Executive dysfunction is a bitch. Um,
Ugh.
um,
There's a really good metaphor that I came across for like executive dysfunction and uh how we have to build ourselves up to be able to do things. It's called motivation bridge. Um each little plank on the bridge is like a dose of dopamine or something that catches your interest or something like things that would push you to take a step uh over the valley that is in between the where you currently are and what you need to where you need to be. And if you don't have enough planks on the bridge, then it's not possible to cross. Like you don't need all of the planks. You can jump over small holes, but if you don't but if you have like 5 planks missing in the middle, how are you supposed to cross?
Yeah, and well, and that's like the thing that is um like I think has become even more difficult for me since I've gotten my fibromyalgia diagnosis, because now it's like, oh, I have this pain disorder that just so I'm just in pain
I'm
all the time.
I I'm a little me I have a partner that has fibro and he's a little bit worried that I might actually have it too. We don't know. I haven't gotten any diagnosis yet, but I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. But we're kind of a little bit worried that it might be something more than just, oh yeah, my knee kind of hurts. Yeah, my ankles hurt a lot of the time. Yeah, my lumbar hurts a lot when I'm standing. Oh yeah, my wrists hate me.
Yeah, for me it was like a thing of like I got super sick over Thanksgiving last year. Like it was, I don't know, I thought it was like just a cold, and then I was like, well, maybe it's the flu with how I'm feeling. And then I was like, maybe it's even COVID. But like then I took a COVID test and it wasn't like negative and stuff, and it was like weird, but I was sick. I was like bedridden for like 2 weeks. Um,
Ooh,
and it was like rough. I could barely eat anything. Um, Struggled even to take
that
like
really sucks.
my medications or and stuff. Um, but I was really sick, and then uh I just never, the body aches just never went away.
Ah.
And it's like, well, I was also going through a really bad depressive spiral at the time. So it was like I got hit with like this like uber sickness, and I was in a like bad, like really bad mental state, both of which are things that can trigger fibromyalgia. Uh,
Oh, I actually don't know
cuz
very much about fibromyalgia.
yeah,
Uh,
so it's a condition that not like scientists don't know very much about, to be fair. Like they know the research that's been done on it, they know that there are like some signs of it in the body, so they know it's not like entirely like just a neurological thing where it's like, oh, it's it like just in your head, for lack of a better term, you know. Um, but
gotcha.
also it's not like um rheumatoid arthritis or anything like that, where it's like an inflammatory condition where there's like signs of inflammation in the body. So
I see.
it's hard to diagnose because you basically have to rule out everything else.
Ah, I see.
It's one of those diagnoses where it's like you have to like get that diagnosis by slowly determining that everything else is not a possibility. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess that leaves us with this. Um,
That's
There are
rough.
some different theories about what may cause it, but there isn't really a consensus. There aren't really good medications for treating it. The most common ones are like Cymbalta, which is also an antidepressant, um,
Oh no.
or um, gabapentin, which is like a nerve pain medication. But the difficulty with gabapentin is that it has an addictive potential to it. So
Ah,
um, pharmacies are particularly strict about how like early you can refill it. It's not like a controlled substance. Um,
not
at
quite
least at
controlled,
least
but
not
it's very
yet.
restricted.
But it's like, yeah, a lot of pharmacies treat it like a controlled substance because
I mean, that makes sense.
because there has been a lot of talk about making it a controlled substance and stuff um and people do have a tendency to try and get it refilled very early and stuff, um which like I do understand as somebody that does take it and has fibro. It's like sometimes it works great, and other times it's like, oh, I really wish I could take another one because I'm just like, it feels like it's not doing anything, but I know I can't do that. I
I'm in
know I
so
can't.
I'm in so much pain. It has done nothing, but I
um,
cannot take more,
I do
else I
know.
deprive myself later.
I think like one of the reasons I have, and I didn't think about this until the other day when somebody mentioned that like because I posted in a Discord that I'm in, like how do people deal with chronic pain without becoming insufferable assholes? and um and someone replied to me like um they were like uh they were like I've heard that like activities like coloring and stuff really help with that. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, I wonder if that's why I've become like so obsessively interested in drawing lately. Because I've tried to
Interesting.
learn to draw before, um, and like I've gotten
You
bored with
know,
it. But like it's a thing. It's one of those things where it's an activity that engages both sides of your brain and um like I get into it and then I'm like focused on it and I don't really notice the
you don't
pain.
register the pain.
I
Yeah.
don't register the pain while I'm doing it. Now once I'm done with drawing, it comes back with a vengeance. But but it is that
I
thing of being
I
able to
know what you're
have
talking
like
about.
that
Um,
reprieve from this like constant pain because it's like yeah I have days that are better than others when it comes to the pain but it's never like I'm never not in pain. um
yeah, you know, it's funny. Um, it wasn't until actually kind of recently that I even considered the fact that I might have chronic pain because there's always something in my body that kind of hurts. Um, but my ass, this has been a thing that I've had for a long time. My ass just thought it was normal until I met one of my partners. who has like three different physical pain chronic pain disorders, uh degenerative disc, fibro, and scoliosis. And she was like, bro, um that's just chronic pain. And I'm like, oh,
That well, and that's like the thing and I think what like before I even had fibro, the thing because I had other like aches and pains and stuff, and I was like, eh. But like,
probably normal.
I mean, before I had like a diagnosis of fibro, I did remember like seeing like Dr. Mike videos and like and other videos like from people like that where it was like uh talking about like how people will come in um and they don't really have a good understanding of like the fact that like if you are healthy and not having like any sort of issues and stuff that typically you shouldn't be in any sort of like pain, like any at least any sort of like constant like significant noticeable pain, you know. um
Yeah.
and if you are, then that's probably there's probably something wrong. Either you're in some way sick, or you have some sort of chronic pain condition, or you know whatever it may be. But I remember watching those videos and I'm like, huh, interesting. Well, I'm not going to talk to my doctor about it. And then eventually I did get like that whole thing happened last year, and I was like, I was just in such bad pain. Like it got the thing is like it's so bad I can't wear shoes for more than like a couple hours at a time, or like
Oof.
my feet hurt so bad that I just want to like curl up in a ball on the floor and cry. Um
That that's the
and
kind of pain that I deal with in my back when I'm trying to walk around for or stand for a significant amount of time. I have to, even through Advil, taking 600 grams of Advil and like 500 of acetaminophen or Tylenol. If I'm at work, if I'm standing most of the time, it, probably an hour or two in, I'm the pain is already getting unbearable, and I need to be able to sit down somewhere frequently enough to give myself a break, else I will fucking feel like I will throw up from the pain through the
yeah,
pain meds.
yeah, that
It's
that was definitely like a factor in why I quit my job. I just couldn't like I couldn't deal with the like the demands of the job anymore with the pain I had. And that plus like between the pain I was in and the stress of the job and
yeah.
stuff, it was just like I can't do this. Like
So
I'm getting paid well, but like not well enough to like push through all this. Um
so
but like I don't right now I'm unemployed and I don't make money from streaming. So it's like I need to make money somehow. And I don't know how I'm gonna
yeah.
do that. Because
The
there's
reason
like
why
a lot of jobs where I'm
it's the
like,
reason
I
why I'm
don't
pushing through
know.
the job that I just got. I'm so I just started at FedEx as a package handler, right? And
Oh,
not even a weekend, and I'd already kind of injured myself, and I'm on restrictions already.
oh. Yeah,
Um, yeah,
I
my I I s- I have this habit of I at work I have to put my full effort in, or like I don't put any effort in, or I put all of my effort in. I don't know how to slowly ramp up, so I kind of just went in guns blazing and
yeah.
strained my arm muscles on my left arm. Mind you, my wrist always has been a little finicky, but like I can't lift anything over like 5 pounds without significant pain in my wrist and my elbow. And now, and I'm pretty sure I've been overcompensating with my right arm and wrist, and now they're starting to hurt the same way.
Oh, geez. Well,
Uh,
that's like when I was working at my last job, I was like the same. I would be like, I would get there and I'd be like, I'm gonna just work my little butt off. Um,
yeah,
and but like the more pain I was in and stuff, and it also just happened to just coincide with the company, like people would quit and then the company wouldn't let us hire more people, or they would let us hire a part-time person to cover what used to be a full-time position, and things like that. It just became like, oh, so we're expected to do all the same stuff with less help, and the stress combined with the pain and stuff, I just like I got to a point where I was just pushing myself too hard, and I'm like, I can't do this.
yeah.
I can't do this. And
Looking back, there
like,
was a job that I had for a year, um, that was materials handling at a hospital. It was an overnight shift. Basically, the day shift would scan all the shit that the hospital needed to restock, and then at night, the trucks would get here with all the shit that needed to be restocked, and uh, the people on night shift had to sort out all of the shit, put it in the right places, in the right rooms, and all of that. There were like 10 of us, usually, and this hospital had 11 floors. It was a huge hospital, and we had 10 hours every night to get it all done. I worked my ass off in that at that job, and it was only 15 an hour, but it was full time, and it was a consistent schedule. I actually liked my schedule there. I actually liked the job. It's why I didn't quit until I wanted to go into massage therapy school, and I couldn't do an overnight job and also do that schooling, so I eventually quit. But I didn't quit because of the pain that would end up being in like on my back and stuff like that. I quit for school reasons. I was there for a year, and it was, thinking back on it, my body was not okay the entire time. I don't know how I got so resilient to the. I have a really high pain tolerance now. None of my other system mates have the pain tolerance that I have, because I've worked through a lot of pain, a lot more pain. So like when Iris has to front for work, she's just like, "What the fuck? It, how do you function just normal on a day-to-day basis, just taking over the body, and I'm not in partial control?" She's like, "What the hell?" And I was just like, "I don't know, man." And
yeah,
that's kind of part of the reason why I'm trying to pursue like a physical assessment of what the fuck is wrong with my body, because my system mates have made it painfully clear that my body is not okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do as far as uh money goes, or it's especially hard because I'm not like particularly drawn to any. career path. Like the only things I want to do are creative things, which are like not guaranteed to make you money. um,
All of
uh,
the your ass off and hope you get lucky jobs.
yeah, yeah, kind of.
It's funny because those are all on my radar too. Obviously, I'm here streaming with you doing a fucking Q&A to nobody.
Uh, and like, well, and like I do this. I stream. I enjoy this. I know how to edit video. There's more that I could learn there, but I still know quite a bit. With
Yeah.
DaVinci Resolve specifically. Um,
Yeah, that's the same one my boyfriend uses, I believe.
and um, I'm learning to draw. I'm hoping, I wanna. Part of what inspired me to do that was seeing well, actually, it was seeing videos of artists reacting to PewDiePie's videos of him like drawing every day for like 100 days and then for a year. Um, and just like seeing his improvement over that span of time and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I want to learn to draw and get better at that and stuff. And like if I get good enough, like uh, that's something that I would potentially maybe pursue. Trying to
Yeah.
make money from, but like I while I do share some of my drawings in some of the discords I'm in, I'm not nearly ready to post them on like any of my social accounts. I
If
just
uh as an
but yeah.
artist, if you ever want any opinions like that could of like things that might be able to help you, like actual genuinely good critique, not the man that sucks kind of critique. Um, if you ever want that, um, I've done that for quite a few of my other blooming artist friends, and found that my critique is oh
It was a bot, but Sari got it.
yeah, Starry Go Bird. Um, out of my other like art friends that have been learning art but are not super confident in it said that my critique did help them. So if you ever want some help, I'd be
Yeah,
glad to help you out.
yeah. I'll probably take you up on that at some point. I have another friend who um is an artist and went to like uh, art school and everything. Um, and uh they have been giving me some advice and stuff um and I've just been watching like some videos and different things too of like just mostly just stuff on fundamentals because that's what I'm when I'm not just like doodling, when I'm like making like a drawing of something for fun. um that's mainly what I'm focusing on is the fundamental stuff because that's what I need to really improve on right now in order to like make everything else easier to improve on. um
Yeah, I will tell you this now. The thing that's going to be probably the roughest, it depends on how you perceive things, but especially if you have aphantasia, shadows, especially dynamic shadows, probably going to be a
probably
hard thing to get a good handle on. I'm
probably
still struggling with
I
it
have like
myself.
yeah,
and I've been an
the
artist for over
few
10 years.
drawings that I have made recently, I've done like a little bit of like shadows on them, like shading, but like there isn't like they're not like fully in an environment or anything, so there isn't any actual like lighting source technically. I'm just
Yeah.
imagining where the light would be coming from. And the shadows are very like very much a sort of like cell
So,
shaded
yeah.
style. Um, so they don't like blend, like there isn't like a gradient blend to the shadows or anything. It's just like there's this shade and then it gets and then there at this point there's this shade and it
Oh, that likely a banovator restricted Stary Burr. I think the same fucking bot tried to hit us twice. That's funny.
nice. Um but yeah, I don't really know. I really enjoyed creative writing in high school, but like
Ooh.
and I was always told like everyone always told me I was really good at it. And I took like a creative writing class in college, and the professor told me I was really good at it and that I should take like the next more advanced one. But like the thing was, I think there was a couple of things. One, I feel like my ADHD made it difficult because I would come up with like the premise for a story and start writing it, and then like maybe get a couple of pages, and then I'd be like, but now I have this premise for this other story, and I'd rather write that other one instead of this one. Um, and so then I never like would finish anything that I would start writing, unless it was for like an assignment. And the other thing that I think um, was difficult for me was I didn't really tend to get very much feedback on my writing because it was like, oh, I was too good for like my peers to really give me feedback, and I like the teacher, and we even did this thing like at my high school where we had like I can't remember what we called it, but it was basically like a creative writing day where they would bring in like local published authors, and like the students who submitted um stuff for it got out of classes for the day, and we would basically go to the library all day and we would share our stuff that we submitted with the different published writers and stuff in little breakout groups, and um, they would like critique it and our peers would critique it, and um, different things like that. But even then, like even the like published authors wouldn't really have much feedback for me because it was like they were like, "Oh, yeah, that was very good. Oh, I'm impressed." And it's like, "Oh, that's great, but I want to know how I can make it better." And then even like college professor, like it was like that, and I was like, "Well, I know it's not like masterpiece level writing, but like I'm nobody like I can't ever get it in front of people that can give me the critiques that I want." So then I just kind of was like, well, screw this then.
Ooh.
Um, because yeah, it was, I don't know. I just I don't think I ever would have been able, like, even if I did get it in front of people that could have given me good critiques, I don't think I ever would have been able to do the creative rating thing because I just don't think I could have focused on one concept long enough. Um, it's something I even struggle with, like with streaming, unless I'm streaming like a game with somebody else and we're doing it like as a series together. I struggle so hard to finish a playthrough of a game. And it's just
God, I felt that.
because it's like I want, like, if I could stream it every single day for like 10 hours a day, sure, I could probably finish it. But since it doesn't, I can't do that. It's like I'll often be like really excited about playing a game, and then by the time next time I get a chance to stream it, it's like, oh, I'm not really interested in playing this anymore.
Oh God, I felt that so much. It's like you play it on stream, and then a week later, you're ready to play it on stream again. But at that point, it's a 50-50 whether or not your hyperfixation has changed. So you're gonna play that in stream instead. Yeah, yeah, I know that feeling all too well.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
You
I don't
know,
know. I don't feel like
it's
we
really
talked
funny.
very much about what we came here to talk about.
Who cares? it,
I mean,
it developed
we
into an
talked about
interesting
mental
conversation
health we
anyway.
talked about mental health plenty, but not so much systems
Specifically system.
and
Yeah.
any of that. But I don't know. I just didn't real I didn't really know what to ask too much. I was like I was hoping that my brain would give me more ideas of what to ask, but I was like, I don't know. Yeah, what they're saying makes a lot of sense to me.
It's all right. It's all right. Honestly, just talking about mental health in general is nice to do. It
Yeah,
helps bring awareness to
yeah,
it, in my
and it
opinion. And that's
exactly,
kind of one
and
of my
it's
big
good.
goals is to bring awareness to a lots of different types of mental health stuff. I now that I can we're in a topic that I can kind of bring it up, it's actually something that I want to do for my career. I want to be a neuroscience researcher because I want to understand everything about the brain. I want to understand why the fuck we're like this. It deeply intrigues me, and so I want to I want that to be my career. But I also want
Yeah.
streaming to be my side career. I want to
So,
stream on the side and bring more awareness to the things that I learn via streaming.
yeah. So, I get that. I get that feeling. I am like, I went, I did like 1 year of grad school for, it was for social work because I did my undergrad in theater, right? So, um, getting like any sort of like uh graduate degree in like psychology or anything like that was not gonna be possible.
Fun
Not
fact.
without having to take a bunch of extra undergrad classes that I couldn't get financial aid for. Uh,
Yeah. So I found out via my mom that actually to be able to join a neuroscience research team, you just have to have an associate's in something. It doesn't matter what it is. Which I thought I had to get like
that
had to go
sounds
in
crazy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was super surprised. So
But also kind of makes sense. Uh,
I plan to do an associate's in science so that I can further go down the rabbit hole into like eventually having a master's in neuroscience if I want to. Um, but yeah, the only reason you would need like a major in whatever mental field you want to research is if you want to lead the research. If you want to be the one that leads and picks the research, you have to have that. But if you just want to be a researcher, you just need an associate's, like 2 years of school, which is not bad. And
but
that's what I'm hoping to start doing in the summer. Keyword hoping.
yeah, so I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater, concentration in acting, with a minor in technical theater. And then I did 1 year of graduate school in social work. Um, and I quickly realized that mostly I just cared about the psychology part, and mostly it's just because I wanted to understand my brain more, and not so much because I cared about actually becoming a
Helping
social
people.
worker. Um, and
I
it's a
actually
thing
have
of like
I've put it like on my
I
radar of things to do quite a few times because I've unintentionally been that for a lot of my friends. But
I
personally, I would rather research the brain than talk to people with problems with the brain.
yeah, I think I would agree with that. I I think it's not like I would love helping people, that part of being a therapist. I don't think, though, that I would be
Excuse me.
like able, like, I don't think I would be able to handle listening to so many other people's like trauma and stuff. And I know that like when
See,
like therapists have like supervisors and stuff that they can like talk to like help deal with that mental strain of like having to listen to a bunch of trauma from other people. But I feel like I can do it when I know the people personally and I care about the people deeply. I feel like I would struggle to do it for a bunch of strangers.
see, the problem for me is much less that because I've done it for people that I didn't know very well. Uh, Kyle, that's God damn it, knocked the thing over that uh, kind of. He didn't knock over the setup completely, but he yanked it. uh, Shut up. um, but I've helped people that were like only barely acquaintances and stuff like that. I built up a little bit of rapport with them and listened to their problems, and I have actually saved people that I barely knew before. Like I know how to do that. I know how to handle that. I've done that a lot. I do it naturally. The problem is I don't trust myself to A, not get overly attached, and B, I uh the social anxiety of meeting a new person is a little bit rough. Once I've had a specifically jumping into a call with a person that I've never met for the first time is really hard for me. it's easier, like, if I'm just talking to someone face to face, or if I'm messaging them for the first time, and I can listen to their problems all day all day long, even though I just met this person. But being in a call with them is so much harder for me. I have such bad call anxiety when I've just met the person.
Yeah,
Um, and because of that, it's why I've kind of been like, I don't know. I'm
I
really cut out for it. I would do really well with it. I know I could do it, but I feel like my anxiety when it comes to that would really stop me.
I think I I don't know that my anxiety would be a problem. I do have a lot of social anxiety, but I don't know that that would be necessarily be a problem. I think I would have a hard time with like getting attached to people. That would definitely be a thing that I would struggle with. Um, which is not good. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's my other
and
big worry for
I would be like, "Oh, I like this person. I want to be their friend, but I can't be their friend. That would be ethically wrong."
or or to
uh
paint an even worse picture, I've started
or
to like
even
this
worse. Oh
person,
yeah,
but this
yeah, yeah.
person is on the verge of harming themselves, and I want to save them at all costs, but I can't save them. And now my autophobia has been triggered, and I am having a traumatic response because I couldn't help this person and save this person. That is something that happens in the therapeutic field. You can't save everybody. You can just
I
help them save
also
themselves.
like my therapist, okay, he's a bisexual man. He's also disabled, but that's not really um like pertinent to what I was about to say. It just happens to be um part of his identity, right? Um and he um but he has like a lot of clients because of where I live who are like pro Trump type people, right? That are MAGA people, right?
Oh, no.
And while he does sometimes have like conversations with them to try and like sway their mind and convince them like to see the hypocrisy and like what they're saying and like how like and like point out like when they bring up like just straight up incorrect facts about LGBT people, he'll like
Yeah.
point out like, but that's not true, and this is like what the actual, like he'll do that with them. He can still like be their therapist and not like be like tell them off. I don't think I
Yeah.
could do that. I think if I
I
had
just
people,
wouldn't ac-
I think
I
if I
wouldn't
had
accept
people
clients
like
that
that,
were like that. Honestly.
um, yeah, which I mean, if you have a private practice or work in, but there's um
Yeah, there are certain systems where you
certain
can't use
systems where
guinea
you
pigs.
just can't really decide, or you just can't really say I'm not gonna work with this person. And I don't think I could handle working with those types of people.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
neither could I,
I
honestly.
think if I had to deal with somebody that was like transphobic and me being a trans person, I mean, I would hope that they would just like not want me as their therapist and that would make it easy.
Yeah.
Um, but I also am like, if for some reason they were like insisted on like keep like still wanting to see me as their therapist, and then uh also um still
I
like
I can
say
picture
these very
a situation.
anti-LGBT things. I would probably like rip them a new asshole, and it would not be a good thing. Um,
I
like you
like
know,
just from that idea, I can picture things that are not nice. That
I
I I dislike putting stereotypes on generally stereotypes, but MAGA MAGA people, the MAGA cult, are so brainwashed and cultified that I feel like if they were to find a therapist that is transgender, I could see them being like, I will fix.
I will
If
fix
it's
this
a
person.
she, I will fix him. If it's a he, I will fix her. I will correct her
Uh,
or correct him uh, by being their patient. I will show them what's true. I can see that happening, and oh god,
yeah, I can see that. I can see. I it could be bad in
I
many
don't
different
know
ways,
how people could
but
handle that.
I
Yeah,
it was a thing like to like when in my last job I had like people that said they supported my like transition, like coworkers that said they supported my transition and they said they were my friends and blah 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 blah. But then come like last election, they were very vocal about voting for Trump. And I was like, well, I don't think I can associate with you anymore. And they were like they,
yeah.
it was like this thing of like, they felt like I had wronged them. And I'm like, no, you can't like support someone that is
Wants to destroy our entire
like
existence.
yeah, wants us to not exist, and directly is like taking away our rights, and then say to my face that you support me. It doesn't work that way.
No,
um
no, it really does not. Like I don't understand people
and
that
it's like
it's like the leopards eating faces
it
comparison. I
I
didn't think they'd eat my face. It's like they're supportive of it because they think Donald Trump can do all this stuff, and then in the eventuality that they harm normal people too, quote unquote, like uh basic ass white male, white cis males. Uh, once he starts doing damage to them, people, which he already is, it's like, when are people going to realize that he just does not fucking care? Like,
I mean, the like in some ways people have started to realize it, but like just not enough, and to not like a strong enough degree yet, unfortunately. Um,
yeah,
but like the thing that just always gets me is like there is still like such a thing among the left side of the political spectrum of like, oh, well, we need to like kill them with kindness and not like we can't stoop to their level and stuff. And it's like it like
I understand what they're what they're
I'm
coming
like
from, and
I'm like
for
those
the
are
most part, they're kind
and
of
I'm like,
right.
it's like, yeah, it's great to say to take the high road and like, um, all of that. And like, generally, that's something I agree with. But also,
But we're
um,
already being painted as vicious murderers anyway, and the
like,
right
these
already
are
believes that
people,
that's our agenda. So no matter how
yeah, these are
kind we
people
are,
that
we will be
already
murderers and horrible people to them.
want us dead and like would rather see us like, uh, you know, terrible things done to us than um, make any sort of compromises with us. So why should I show them any sort of like sympathy or like,
Yeah.
I
And I think this goes without saying
it's
is
tough.
like we're talking about the people that are very specifically they know what they're doing. They understand. They probably have heard and been taught that they're wrong and they don't give a shit. It's a little different when there's someone ignorant who's been spoon
Yeah,
fed it and you have a chance to actually, educate them and they're willing to listen. If you meet someone like that, educate them. Help them
yeah,
understand
yeah.
why they've been fed incorrect
And
info
I'm not saying
and
there
then and be
isn't
kind to
value in that.
that.
I
But
do
like
think at some point though you have to like
you
eventually
have to
say
be
like
willing to stand up for
like
yourself.
when are we gonna like grow a backbone and just like stand on business and like refuse to compromise on the things that like shouldn't like just shouldn't be a question. Like, hey, no, we're not gonna actually uh come to the table to negotiate with you if like a matter of basic human rights is up for debate. Like
Yeah.
like that just shouldn't be a question. Um
Yeah.
and that's where I get frustrated sometimes. Um and that's where I think I'll leave that because I don't really want to get like super political or anything. And
It's
I don't think that's that political to say like, hey, I believe
uh
in basic
let's
human rights and people should have those.
yeah, I think we should, grow a backbone a little. It's
um,
like we're kind of I know like living is resisting and all that shit. But like is it though?
yeah, I get that too. I like, and that's something I've struggled with. I've been like, should I talk about things sometimes? Because like, there's shit that has been happening and going on that like definitely affects me, definitely affects my mental. Um, when I see it in the news and stuff, I've tried to like just avoid reading the news for the most part anymore
Same.
because I
Same.
like it just makes me so upset. But even then, you're like some amount of it's gonna get through, one way or another. Um,
Yeah.
and
Like
so, but
for
I
example,
don't, I used to be someone that was like, I really want to keep myself well informed on things because I don't feel like I should like really have an opinion on something unless I know about, like, I've read up on the situation and I know what's going on.
yeah.
But now I'm kind of just like, shit is so off the rails that I would rather be ignorant on some of it and just not know and be able to like have a little bit better mental health personally
Yeah.
than
Bit of mental
lo-
peace.
lose my mind over the fact that I can't fix the world and nothing
Yeah,
I can,
I've
like I feel powerless against everything that's happening. Um,
yeah, I've
because
kind of
that's really
taken the
what it
same
became.
stance. I used
Like,
to be very into like trying to stay informed and stuff like that. I used to watch Illegal Eagle constantly, and then this Trump election happened, and
uh-huh.
it was every 2 days. Oh my God, 15 more things happen, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm tapping out of this.
Yep. Yep.
And even now,
Things.
like I avoid Twitter like the plague most of the time. I
Oh
only look
yeah.
at it if someone shares a post with me and I want to see the comments. Like then I'll open it up and see what like other people are talking about because it's like I want to see what other people react to a certain thing. And even though I rarely open it, this fucking ICE propaganda ad. You know like the World War
Oh
II
God.
recruitment propaganda ads. It was huh? Yeah, it was straight up just Uncle Sam. It was straight up just fucking Uncle Sam
uh
in the style and everything.
the only thing I know about the ICE propaganda ads is that they did like one that would literally took the Pokemon theme song, like straight up. They put the Pokemon theme song and then put like the mug shots of like different like people they had arrested, and then like
What?
they did one that took, was it the Halo, was it something with Halo or something too? Like it was crazy. Yeah,
Oh,
upper bleak. Yeah, it is. The world is fucking
yeah.
bleak these days, man.
Yeah, I got to stuff to flood. Yeah, it's fucking rough.
Yeah, that's why I don't like I hadn't really been going on Twitter since it had uh Elon took it over and it became X, and then it just became like a complete hellscape of
I
everyone.
I avoid most social
Um,
medias in general. I have been doing that since like 2019, 2020 after I got myself free from TikTok and I just straight up uninstalled that and I just even though I'm a content creator,
fortune.
I have a very
Yep.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
so
uh
so here's like my thing.
but
I have like
yeah.
I deleted my personal Twitter. I deleted my personal, like a lot of my personal social media accounts. The only personal account I still have is a Facebook because it's the only way I keep in touch with a few of people from like college and stuff. Um, it, but beyond that, and I'm like, if I were to get like to a certain size on Twitch, I'd probably even delete that. Um, just because I don't want, like, there's nothing on it that connects to my Twitch directly, but like I don't want people digging too much and figuring shit out, you know? Um,
Yeah.
but I have like a Twitter account for my uh like my Indie Artemis handle. I have an Instagram account. I have a TikTok. I have a YouTube. I the YouTube is really the only thing that I post anything to consistently, and it's mostly just my VODs. Um,
Yeah. I have a
Tik
Twitter.
TikTok,
Technically I have a TikTok
I
and
want to
I have a
get
blue
better
sky.
at posting clips on TikTok because right now I think I have like two clips that I've posted, and everything else is just stuff that I've reposted. Um, and but Nix is gonna show me how to set things up so that I can like basically clip stuff during stream because I'm like I can't scrub my VODs. I get too bored. I can scrub somebody else's
Yeah.
VODs if they pay me to do it, but I can't scrub my own VODs. I get too bored doing that shit. Um,
Okay, okay, hear me out. What if what if you were to trade offer? Someone scrubs your VODs, you scrub theirs.
interesting. Go on.
Instead of you both having to suffer through your own VODs again, you could just you could just do each other so it's at least interesting to watch.
Fair, fair. But yeah, Nix has a whole thing set up so that she can just like mark like when
Clip.
she there's something that she thinks uh might make a good clip, she can just press a keybind and OBS will like backtrack the last 60 seconds and like capture it. Um
Oh.
She even has like a vertical plugin installed, which I installed, but I don't really have it all set up yet. Um so that it has like a layout for like the TikTok or TikTok layout um already set up basically. Um so she's gonna show me how to set all that stuff up so that I do that and flip things the lazy way.
Yeah, that's smart. That's
Um,
smart.
but yeah, I have like all these accounts, but like my Twitter, I never use. I don't go on Twitter. I don't
Yeah,
I don't want to
same.
be on there. Like I don't like anything about that website. Um, TikTok I'll still go on
I've
occasionally. I don't go
I'll
on
be
it
straight
as
up.
much as I
The
used to.
rare few times that I've opened up Twitter, I've been smacked with VTuber drama. I fucking hate opening up that app because it's just
Okay,
fucking drama.
okay, but to be fair, I wouldn't mind being smacked by the VTuber drama because I kind of like watching the VTuber drama
I just watch
unfold
Muujin. I just
because
watch Muujin for that.
it's like yeah, I usually just watch like YouTube videos about it because it's just like it's because I don't know any of the people. I'm like it's just like my trashy reality
Funny.
TV, right?
Yeah, it's like fucking
Right?
reality
Where
TV
it's like
essentially about VTubers.
because most of the time with not everything, but with a lot of the stuff, it boils down to people like just uh not communicating well enough. Um
And deciding to make a fucking call out post for about it before going to the DMs.
yeah, or just like which I mean I okay, when you get really big, like the big VTubers, I do understand like it it gets to like it can be difficult to always respond and you might forget to respond and then people might take that the wrong way and
Yeah.
this and that um I do think that most I can't remember which VTuber it was that I was listening to um because and which drama it was they were talking about but they were saying that they're like I think generally most of the time it's best to just keep uh drama in the DMs, keep it private, talk to people in the DMs, figure it out privately amongst
Yeah.
yourselves, and then, rather than make it a big public thing. The only time the only time it really needs to be a big public thing is if like somebody is behaving in a way that potentially puts like other people in danger, or like where they can be um you know somebody that is potentially dangerous to be around for other people, and that needs to be like called out, and people need to be made aware, um just for safety's sake. But like generally, if it's just personal drama between people, it's best to keep it in the DMs. It's best to
Yeah.
just talk about that amongst yourselves, um and figure it out, and like sort it out privately. um and I
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that's about it. But like I
oh,
do
90% of drama can just be can could have been avoided if you just talked.
yeah,
It's just
yeah. And I do think, I mean, I do think things are complicated. I think a lot of times they're like the situations aren't as like black and white as people want to try and make it. It can like it's just like, hey, um, people make mistakes, and people fuck up,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes people uh come off one way and don't mean to. Now, does that excuse everything? No. And does that
Yeah,
mean
no,
that you should
no.
stay friends with somebody if someone like you feel personally slighted by them? Not necessarily. Like, if you guys can't like reconcile about it, like don't like try and force the friendship. Like, just be like, hey, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of fucking hate you now, but like, whatever. Uh,
Just go your separate
you don't
ways.
need to make 1,000-page Google document about it.
Ugh. Cinder will
Uh,
go down in history as the most
Cinder,
dramatic VTuber of all
Cinder,
time, I feel
that
like.
situation, I will say, that situation was wild. Because the initial thing happened, right? And all the shit comes out, and her response is not great, right?
Yeah.
Initially. And then she comes back months later with this 1,000-page Google document that, if you read a lot of it, makes her look worse, in my opinion. Kind of. Like, it's kind of saying, well, yeah, uh, that stuff, a lot of that stuff, like, did happen, but, like, there's a little bit more context, but it's also, like, pretty much what people were saying. But, um, and here's how I think it was different, but then you read it and it's like, well, that sounds very manipulative on your part, actually. And you're also saying that a lot of it was your partner Red's fault, but then you also acknowledge that that you are back with him, and he is going to continue like being
So,
involved in your
so
business operations, which seems
I've got a little juice
wrong.
about Cinder and Red. I don't know if you I didn't don't know if you know, but they're not boyfriend girlfriend. They're husband wife. They're
Ah.
married. So like there's a
I
little
mean,
bit
it
more commitment
does
to it,
make,
but still
but
but
still,
still
I mean, I can get like maybe okay, in that case, maybe them staying together like romantically, right?
yeah.
But like still, if this is the person that you're saying is like the main reason that like your business relationships got all fucked up and your friendships got fucked up with these people, like maybe don't let them be part of your business ventures anymore. Like
And
just
that's where I like
just saying. Like it
okay.
seems
I
kind
don't
of like
excuse I don't excuse
you're
Cinder for the things that they've done, and I don't think it's a good idea to continue doing it with Red. But I can kind of sympathize because she's become dependent on him for it. She said so in the doc that she doesn't know how to run her business without him.
I mean I guess, but like that also feels like kind of a bit of a cop out where it's like, okay, you don't know how to do it without him. I get that, blah 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 blah. But also like that doesn't prevent you
From
from
learning.
learning or from hiring like somebody else to do it
Yeah.
that like you are not romantically involved with, because that like muddies business relationships is like in the first place. And um it's just there's all sorts of messy details about it. It's weird. I don't know. Like I watched
Yeah.
their first stream when they came back. I've watched. I don't like they're not really talking about it. They said in their first stream back they're not really going to talk about it. So don't ask about it and stuff, which is fair. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't like really see anything more coming of it unless, some major drama behind the scenes happens still. But
Yeah.
like I think it's pretty much done. Like she still has her audience and you know, hopefully it was
It's
a
like,
learning experience for her and she
oh,
can
hopefully she doesn't let Red do more shit if it really was
yeah,
on Red's fault. I mean, she said
you
that
know,
she has access to
about
all of his accounts and stuff now, but like
the only
we
thing
we will see in due time if she actually learned.
I will say that about the only thing that it feels like there was any like real validity to in the like I didn't read all the document. I watched like I think about 7 hours of Demi going through it before she got to the point of being
I
like,
watched
I can't do this
Mujin
anymore.
made a I think a 5 or 6 hour video going through the document very thoroughly
Um,
and stuff. So
but
and it was
but
structured very nicely. So
like
I watched
she
most of
she
that.
like
But yeah,
she went through a big portion of it, and I will say they're like it felt like Cinder and Red were being kind of manipulative of Nanolist, but it also does seem like Nanolist like kind of did maybe take on more work than they could handle and uh used that
so something that I
relationship
think
to like maybe cancel some commissions. But like that's the maybe the only thing. Like from looking like having seen the DMs. But like I do feel like Red and Cinder were being manipulative in the way that they would talk to Nanoless and make it seem like, oh, well, our Cinder's brand wouldn't be the same without you, and oh, yeah, like make it like it felt like it was in a way that was like, oh yeah, it's worded to make it seem very nice, but like the subtext is like very much like, oh, you're like it like we're depending upon you to do these things, or uh she's not going to be able to have like the launch, like product launch and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, I so I think the biggest takeaway from the entire situation, um,
Good
listening,
night, bearded.
good night. Um, I think like the biggest takeaway, going on the assumption, benefit of the doubt, and of like what they're telling is their perspective truth, not necessarily fact, but their perspective truth, what they believe to be true from their own experience of it. They need therapy for their delusional bouts. Red
uh
specifically seemed to have a
yeah.
really big problem of delusioning a lot of things. Like the, he got very, with Bao especially, the amount of delusions he had around about her was insane.
Yeah. There was also like Cinder had this weird thing with Silvervale. Uh that like was almost a
Yeah,
little stalkery. Um
but like
but
But like
like
I the way it is written, I do believe they're telling their perspective truth. Whether or not it's exactly what was happening is not is
like
less uh of a sure notion, but from what it sounds like, they they need help. They need help with their delusions.
yeah, I mean, sure, they're telling their truth. Also, um, they are, uh, like, yeah, they're kind of delusional. They're kind of, I, I don't think
Inherently manipulative.
either, yeah,
I don't think they
inherently manipulative.
recognize that they're
I don't think
manipulative.
either of them realize how bad the Google Doc actually like make like her 1,000 page Google Doc makes them seem like how much it kind of validates the things that the others were saying about them rather than
Yeah.
refuting the stuff. Um
And I think
and I think the biggest thing
I
that bothered me about it was um every time it seemed like Cinder was about to like take responsibility for like the stuff that happened and say like own up to it and say like, oh yeah, I fucked up, like she would always like deflect the blame to someone else. She would deflect the blame to Red, or she would be like, yeah, I had a part in this, all but really the um things got as bad as they did because of Red doing this. And it was like, you were so close. You were so close to taking responsibility for your actions.
I so I've learned from pirate software bullshit that and from Healthy Gamer,
Uh,
3 hour interview with Pirate, that is textbook narcissism,
oh
and
yeah.
that they
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have
yeah.
NPD or be dealing with narcissistic tendencies and not realize it.
That yeah, it is narcissistic bullshit. I will say, I've definitely had situations in the past where I have uh like not done the best at taking responsibility for my actions. I feel like I've improved on that. I feel like I'm getting better at it. Um I'm not always 100% perfect, but like who is 100% perfect, you know?
Yeah, I it
It
just
like it's a
it
thing
just
that's
clicked with me. But just
there are
thinking about the
times.
narcissistic part, you know how pirate software is like, in Healthy Gamer's interview, he was like, "Oh, why can't you just say I'm sorry and be done with it?" And pirate software had said like that makes him feel like sick. It's like he needs to do an explanation and all like that. Is like the idea of just saying I'm sorry and being done with it sounds horrible to him. I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at this 1,000 page document and going,
Yeah, yeah, there's a
eh,
lot of that too, where it's like that she says I'm sorry, but then it's also like I'm sorry, but this, and it's like, well, no, don't do
yeah,
that. Just say I'm sorry. Um, which is something I've definitely been very guilty of in the past is doing that, where it's like, well, I'm sorry, but here was why I said that thing, and like what I've come to realize is sometimes
I've
like that doesn't really matter. Um, if you've
I've learned
upset someone or if you
I've learned
like,
a little language trick to help avoid that. Um, Most times you can replace but with and. I'm sorry, and this is why this happened.
yeah, yeah, that
Not
can help.
I'm sorry, but this is why this happened. And
That
like
can
just
definitely help.
that reframes it a lot better, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think that definitely helps. I think um there are times when it's like um like your reasoning really doesn't matter in the situation. Like you just need to say like, "Hey, I'm sorry." Like whether you intended something to be taken a certain way or not, like if it was taken away that upset someone, you just kind of gotta like say I'm sorry and like let that be that. Um,
Yeah. I'm definitely
um,
guilty a little bit of over explaining
I
myself when
yeah,
over every tiny mistake.
I tend to over explain myself, which at times will get me in more trouble than uh it actually fixes because
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, but I was thinking this and then this and blah 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 blah, blah. And then the more I explain, it seems like the more they like uh find issue with like my thought process, and then it's like, but I'm just trying to like uh trying to
Pain.
just like explain how my thoughts worked and how I came to the conclusion of doing the thing I did or saying the thing I did. Um,
Yeah.
so that's a thing. I also think that I have times when um I hear you, little girl. Um, where I think that I being autistic, I struggle with why I view a situation so differently from like somebody else. And so I want to understand why they have the viewpoint they have. Um, but in attempting to try and get them to explain why it just like causes the whole thing to be worse, like causes them
Yeah.
where it's like I just want to understand, but like to them it comes off as me like trying to argue with them or trying to like fight against their their point and like seem like I'm not really apologizing, and it's like it's not that. I'm just trying, like I genuinely don't
It's
understand why you felt this way from what I said, and I and want to understand why so that like in the future I don't make the same sort of mistake again. Um
yeah. Kyle's gotten
and
on my ass many times for doing that exact thing.
and yeah,
Uh,
it can be difficult when it's with people that don't know you very well, and so then they don't get that about you, or just different things like that. Um, and I'm someone, I've also just always, I think my mind, and I think just autistic minds in general, are very prone to just be wanting to know why. Just the general question
yeah.
of why is on our minds a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
I agree with
constantly
that.
like there will be something like it can be the stupidest little thing, but if it's like if it doesn't make sense to my brain, I'm like, well, but why though? But why is it that
But
way?
why?
And it's like and like that was a thing that always got me in trouble with my parents growing up with like they
Something.
would tell me to do something and they would tell me to do it a certain way and I'd be like, but
Why do I
why?
have to do it that way specifically?
Yeah, but why? Like why or why do I have to do it right now? I can do it in an hour and it'll still like why do I have to do it right now? And they'd be like, because I'm telling you to. And I'm like, but that's not a compelling reason.
Yeah, that
like
doesn't. That's not an actual reason. That's just you
like that's
telling me
not
what
a
to do, and I
real
want to
reason.
understand.
I want to know
Yeah,
why it's important. Like, is there company coming over? Do I need to like mentally prepare myself for there being people in the house that I don't really know? Like what's going on? Why do I need to do the thing right now? Or like, why does it matter if I do it right now or before I go to bed? Like, what's the difference? You know,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I think uh people aren't used to like who are not uh neurodivergent uh aren't used to that sort of a thought process and
yeah. They were
uh
raised in the way of you do what your parents are told and you don't question it. So when their child questions it, they see it as disobedience and not just trying to understand what the fuck is supposed what the fuck is with the rush on everything we have to do.
yeah, yeah,
Like
I've definitely had that
I would even
my whole life.
accept in situations like that. I would even accept, hey, can you go do the laundry now? Yes. Why now? So you don't forget it later. You know what? Fair enough. Let me go do it. that that reason alone would be enough to be like, yeah, that's a fair reason to make sure I don't forget to do it later because I am forgetful by nature. So like
Yep.
that would be
Yep.
a normal basic ass reason that you could give me that would be like, yeah, you know what, fair enough. But because I told you so is not a yeah, that makes sense reason. It's a then you're just forcing me to do things because you want me to do things. But there's no reason behind it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It's just that thing of like, why can't you explain the thing to me? Explain to me
Mhm.
why. Why do?
Do I? Why do?
It's like I'm like I hate using this analogy because I feel like people like it gets used a lot and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about autism. But I'm like sometimes I do feel like a robot that is trying to pretend it is human and be like,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, fellow human, I do enjoy consuming food to gain energy. Hmm.
uh, that's even more true with like me being a system and all of us in the system, all of us are non-human. We are at least like part animal or completely non-human, but a humanoid in some way. It's like uh, all of us are what you would consider otherkin, and because of that, it's even more true for us. It's like not quite robot trying to understand human. It's I'm a creature, and I being human makes no sense to me, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I'm a demon girl. It's because I I don't know, like ever since I like saw tieflings in D&D, I was like, I want to be a demon girl. That's all I want in life.
Yeah.
uh it because I like it's just like I don't I it's not that I like I just don't exactly feel human. Like I am. I know that like
I know I'm
logically I am,
physiologically I am a human. Mentally, the fuck is a human?
but like there's so many things where I'm just like I don't relate to this. Why is this? Why do we do
For
this?
example, those of us that have ears on our heads like this, for like me, for example, I have ears and a tail. This is like this avatar is what I wish to look like IRL at some point. Um, I straight up phantom feel my ears and tail, and I have them in my headspace. It's like I can feel them, and I can feel myself controlling them. Like it's like I should have them, but I don't. And there's one of us that's a straight up a My Little Pony, and they've only piloted the body once, and the one time they piloted it, they were very confused. Imagine the fucking My Little Pony movies. um when Twilight first became human. Yeah, that was their experience with the physical body. Uh yeah.
I was just um I just want skin that's a pretty color and pointy
Same.
pointy ears and horns and maybe wings and tail. Uh, that's all I want. That's all I want in life. Now, can I have most of those
Same.
things? No.
No.
Not
I
really. But
I would love to
is
go
it what
more
I
in depth
want?
in that as well, but certain I there are a couple things that I'm not comfortable saying. delving into on stream, but I'm comfortable
Yeah,
delving into off
yeah,
stream, so we can talk about it later.
yeah, that's fine. I think um as much as I would like to keep chatting, I am getting kind of tired, and
Funny because
it is midnight.
I'm also getting I'm
So,
also getting kind of tired, and Kyle's been eyeing me, and I had sent you a message being like, maybe we should wrap it soon. My
I
PO's
haven't looked
eyeing the
at
PC angrily.
Discord. So, um, but
I
yeah,
know you're dying to use the PC again.
but yeah, it's been fun. I enjoyed I enjoyed this, even if we didn't super stay on topic. Um,
It's alright.
it was a fun stream regardless. Um,
We should do another collab at some point.
yeah, yeah,
Whether
definitely.
whether it's just chatting or playing a game of some sort.
Yeah, yeah, or something. Uh, but yeah, it was very fun. Let's see. Uh,
Bye bye. I love
uh,
that hand wave animation on this model. See?
oh yeah, yeah. I was
Alright.
just looking. I don't think I'm gonna
Nobody good
bother
to raid?
rating
Yeah.
anyone tonight. I only have one viewer anyway right now, so I'm just gonna end the stream. Have a good
Yeah.
night. Tomorrow I'm gonna probably play some Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. And
Hell
then
yeah.
Saturday, Nix and I are gonna start playing Date Everything. We're gonna play it together
Ooh.
so that we can
Yo,
make choices together. Uh,
that's amazing.
yeah, so
Um,
hopefully that goes well.
hell yeah. Uh, I there's a new game that came out. Have you ever seen or played Disco Elysium?
I have played some of it. I have not finished it, but I've played some of it. Yeah.
So the developers of Disco Elysium have endorsed a game that was heavily inspired by it by a different developer, called
Yeah,
Rue
yeah.
Valley that
Yeah,
just
I
came out. And like
saw that because
they
they're
sponsored a YouTuber that I watch called named Euro Brady. He's a therapist that plays games and does analysis. They sponsored Owlcat Games sponsored him to play Rue Valley. And it's the only Disco Elysium like that they've endorsed so far. And just from the one video that he's made, I fully intend on playing on stream. So um
yeah.
yeah,
I saw it. I put it on my wish list because I'm like that looks interesting. Um, I think it's like the first. I don't know if it's the first game that Owlcat has done as a publisher, not
I don't.
strictly a developer.
I think so. From what I understand, this is the first time that they have publicly endorsed a game like this.
Um, because Owlcat has they developed Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, Pathfinder
Yeah, they
Kingmaker,
develop Pathfinder stuff.
and Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. And they're working on developing Pathfinder Abomination Vaults.
Yeah,
Um,
as well as
but
them being the ones
they
that made Disco Elysium,
did they?
I believe. Yeah,
I
as far
didn't.
as I know, I believe.
I don't think that's accurate. some of the developers from it might work at Owlcat. I don't think Owlcat made Disco Elysium.
Um, they're associated with Disco Elysium because Ruvali.
ZA/UM was the developer of Disco Elysium.
Yeah. No. So the game was stolen from their original creators by the corporate owner ZAUM. So
Yeah.
actually, the developer on this is on Steam is very much incorrect. So I believe Owlcat was either part some of Owlcat was part of the development of the original game, or something like that, and because of that, uh, they're endorsing um Drew Valley as the only Disco Elysium like that they've endorsed so far.
Yeah. All I know is after how successful Wrath of the Righteous was and Warhammer Rogue Trader, um Owlcat said that they were going to go into publishing to help
Yeah.
other indie developers release games as well. And I think this is the first game that Owlcat has released as a publisher and not the the developer
Mhm.
is what I think. Um, but yeah, it does look cool. It does look interesting. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and and
Industry.
go in the stream because I am sleepy and I need to
Yeah,
eat.
same. EP time.
Have a good
Bye
night.
bye. Have a good
Bye
night. Stay
bye.
comfy